Hello everyone, welcome to IAS Baba. Polity and governance is a very important aspect of your UPSC Civil Services examination because this subject requires in-depth understanding and conceptual clarity of constitutional provisions. Whereas whenever we talk about the governance aspect, it basically means that what the present day government and what the past government had been doing for the upliftment of the vulnerable sections and the minority groups. What are the policies, what are the schemes that has been initiated by the government of India and what needs to be done for the welfare of citizens. So polity and governance is a very vast subject and it plays a very important role in your UPSC civil services journey. So in this video, we will discuss that why UPSC wants you to know about the Constitution of India. What is the syllabus of polity and governance in your prelims as well as in your mains examination? What had been the previous year question that has been asked in your mains examination? What is the weightage of polity as a subject in your prelims examination? Also, we will delve deeply into what are the sources that you should refer while reading the polity and governance part. So, let's start the discussion. First thing is, why UPSC wants you to know about the Constitution of India. You need to understand that Constitution is the basic law that is governing our country. That the function of the Indian state is dependent on the Constitution of India. So if you won't be able to understand the constitutional provisions, you won't be able to get the economic policy that the present day government is making. What has been the history of post-independence? What are the security? What are the relations that the India as a state is having with other nations? That is relations with other states. And also some of the qualities that you as a civil service aspirant is required to have after getting selected into the services. So all of this is derived from the Constitution of India. The functioning, the nature, the philosophy of India as a state is derived from Constitution of India. That is why UPSC is concerned that you should know about the constitutional provisions in depth. Not only this, when you will be selected as a civil service as aspiring bureaucrat, right? You will be taking an oath under the Constitution of India that you would protect thee, you would defend thee, and you would abide by the Constitution of India. And you will be taking an oath under the Constitution. So this is the importance of Constitution, of the subject polity in your preparation. So now let us look at the syllabus from your prelims perspective. See, prelims is getting tougher day by day. As you all know that 2024 examination has been conducted and over 19 question has been asked from your polity and governance part, right? So let us look at these syllabus. It has been written that Indian polity, governance, constitution, political system, panchayati raj, public policy rights issue, etc. Even the words may seem to be a single word, but it has a wider application. That Indian polity, that how the polity, how the nature of the state, how the functioning of the state is done in India. What is the governance aspect? What are the schemes? What are the policies that the government is taking for the vulnerable section? You should know about the Constitution of India, not just the static part, but in detail. Right? What are the provisions that Constitution of India has? Now, what is the political system in India? That India is a democratic republic, sovereign, social, secular state. Right? What is the political system in India? What that it is a parliamentary system or a presidential form of government. Then Panchayati Raj has been given importance in your syllabus. Why? Because local government plays a very important role. That the focus of the constitution now is on decentralization of powers. Decentralization of powers, right? Then you have public policy. You should know about the public policy as you are going to be future bureaucrats, right? And what are the rights of the citizen? What are the issues concerned with all these aspects? So this is about the syllabus of the prelims in your UPSC examination. So now let us look at the weightage from past 6 years. As you all know that 2024 prelims examination has been conducted recently and over 19 questions were asked directly from your polity and governance part. So this subject becomes very important as it carries about 20% of weightage in your prelims. That if you get 19 questions right, you would be able to score higher in your prelims and you would be able to qualify the prelims examination. In 2023, there were 14 questions. So you can see that the question that has been asked from polity and governance is 5 plus minus 3. That in 2024, the question increased to 19. So this is the weightage of polity and governance in your prelims examination. So now let us look at the journal studies paper 2 of your mains. That it deals with the 4 components, that is Indian polity, social justice, governance and international relations. That the GS2 paper of your mains examination has 4 components. And the major part is polity, social justice and governance, which is directly linked to the polity and governance aspect of your UPSC preparation. Now the syllabus is divided as Indian Constitution. What are the historical underpinnings? How the Constitution of India has evolved over a period of time. What are the responsibilities of union and state? When you will read about the political system in India, you will learn about what are the responsibilities, what are the issues, what are the challenges that the union and states are facing. That we have a federal form of government, right? And then we have separation of powers, which is mentioned under the seventh schedule of the Constitution, right? Now, the separation of powers is under the 7th schedule of the Constitution. But, right, then the comparison of Indian Constitution scheme with other countries. All of you must know that India has adopted various things from the other constitution of the world. So, comparative analysis is required in your syllabus. That then we have the structure, organization, and the functioning of the executive and the judiciary. So all these aspects are given in your GS2 syllabus. Then we have what are the government policies? It is under the governance part, right? What are the government policies? Intervention for the development in various sectors and issues arising out of it, right? What are the schemes that have been implemented by the government of India? Then what are the issues relating to the development and management of social sector? This is a part of your social justice. And then we have role of civil services in our democracy, right? Then there is a mention about the IR part, that what is the relation of India as a state with its neighboring countries? What are the bilateral instruments that has been signed? What are the regional organizations? What are the global groupings? So all these is given in your UPSC GS2 main syllabus. So you should have a deep understanding about specifically these topics which are given directly in your syllabus. So now let us look at the themes that has been repeated over and over again in your mains examination. First is whenever we see the Representation of People Act of 1950 and 51, 3 times in the recent past this question has been repeated. That in 2022, in 2019 and in 2020. The questions has been repeated. Right? Discuss the procedure to decide the disputes arising out of the election. Right? Then we have Representation of People's Act. Then on what ground a people's representative can be disqualified under Representation of People Act? You can see that there is a repetition of the same theme. So that is why I always emphasize that you should have a deep understanding about those topics specifically that has been mentioned in your syllabus. This particular act has been directly given in your syllabus. Right? Then another topic we can see is self-help group. In 2021 and in 2022, a question has been again and again framed from your syllabus directly, that is self-help group. Now the question could be asked on NGOs, pressure group, etc. Right? Can the vicious cycle of gender inequality, poverty and malnutrition be broken through the microfinancing of women through self-help group? So you can see that there is a direct repetition of the topics in your syllabus. So this is about your mains part. Now we will talk about the sources. What are the sources that you should refer while reading the polity and governance? First things first, that you cannot ignore NCERT. That you cannot ignore NCERT. NCERT is a must because it is a government publication. So you have to read 5 NCERTs. The first is Social and Political Life of class 8, right? Then Democratic Politics of class 9 and class 10. Then Political Theories of class 11. Now political theories, why you need to know about the political theories? Because a direct question has been framing from the word federalism. What do you mean by liberty? So in this particular book, all the concepts are mentioned in a very simple way and a lucid way. Then we have Indian Constitution at Work of class 11. So all these 5 NCERT you should have a grip on. You can download it from the website, you can get it from the market, but you have to read it. If you are going to ignore, you are going to lose your name in the prelims as well as in your mains examination. Now let's talk about the standard sources that you should follow. The first is you should definitely have a BEAR Act with you all the time, because now the questions are being framed from the conceptual part. The questions are being directly framed from the articles that are given in the Constitution of India. So you should have a BEAR Act. If you don't have, you can directly download it from the Department of Personal Training website. Then we have Indian Polity by M. Lakshmikant. See, you cannot ignore this book because this particular book has been written in such a simple and a lucid way that you would be able to understand the provision of the Constitution if you read this book. But this is a basic book. But whenever we talk about the book of B.D. Basu, this is more of an advanced book that is Introduction to the Constitution of India. If you would read this book, you would be able to solve the question, you would be able to write the answers in your mains examination more accurately, and it will fetch you more marks. Then we have Value Added Notes of Polity by IAS Baba. See, IAS Baba have prepared a very detailed module on the polity and governance part. The articles, the judgment have been presented in this value added notes of the IAS Baba. So I would definitely recommend you that you should read these books that has been prepared by our team. Then newspaper. You cannot ignore the newspaper at any cost. Read Indian Express, read Hindu, whatever. But you have to develop a habit of reading newspaper daily. So this is about the sources that you should follow for your prelims as well as mains. Right? I hope you understood about this. So this is all from my side. Thank you so much, and I hope you understood this syllabus, and I want you to regularly practice the answer writing and the questions of your prelims from the previous year part, right? Thank you so much.